Hi YouTubers, it's your girl Shannon from EV and Chill, and today's video isn't going to be like the most exciting video, but it is going to be super important because it has to do with something you use when you get in your Mach-E every single day. So today we are going to go over the most recent over-the-air update, actually our first ever over-the-air update that we got. I'm going to give you also an update on some of the issues that I reported to you and the things that I hate about the Mustang Mach-E, and we're going to do kind of our first modification, sort of. We are going to be adding a screen protector. So let's go ahead, let's not waste any time, let me give you the updates. Okay, so here is how I first noticed we got our first over-the-air update. I logged into the Ford app, and if you can see, it says update successful, check out what's new. Okay, so I was so excited, you guys. We've been waiting for this. We've had our Mustang Mach-E for over a month, and we haven't received an OTA, but now we have. So I wanted to check out what's new. I wanted to see what changes they made. And basically it was a little not specific. So basically in the update it says that they made some refinements, they fixed some bugs, they said it's a routine update where they make minor changes here and there and squash a few bugs. And ongoing updates like this help ensure that you'll always be driving the best possible version of your Mustang Mach-E. Enjoy. Okay, so not super detailed. I was hoping for a little bit more, to be honest, but over-the-air updates, they're always good, I guess. I won't complain about receiving one. I haven't noticed a ton of changes yet, but honestly, I have been driving the Tesla for the past like 2 days. I did try to get into the Mustang Mach-E a little bit earlier today, and I noticed that using my phone as a key was still an issue, so that has not been fixed. Okay, but let's also talk about a few other things too, because you might remember in the video I made about things I hate about the Mustang Mach-E, a few people have watched that, so thank you guys for your support. But we actually had 2 separate people from Ford reach out to us. One of them was really nice. Actually, they were both really nice. But one of them, the guy who reached out first, he said he was an engineer who was working on the video feed for the Mustang Mach-E, and he said he wasn't reaching out to us on behalf of Ford, but really just reaching out on his own behalf because he wanted to ensure that our Mustang was working like optimally. So I really appreciated that. We sent him an email back, and we're waiting to get a response. The second person who reached out to us from Ford actually reached out on Ford's behalf. He's someone who works in like the social media department, and he works with Ford Pass. So we responded to his email too, and now we're just waiting on a response from that one as well. So I think first of all, we have to acknowledge how awesome that is that Ford actually reached out to us, so we can try to make like some updates and see what's going on, especially with like the backup camera not working. Like that's a pretty big deal. So kudos to Ford for like reaching out to people and making sure that like their vehicles are actually like doing what they're supposed to do. Okay, I'll keep you updated as far as what happens next with that. Now let's get to the modification. Okay, now I guess, I don't know if this is technically like the first ever modification that we've done, because technically the first change we made, we got some rubber floor mats for the vehicle because they came with like the cloth ones, but let's be real, when you have adults or even a kid, those things are not going to stay clean. So we did get the rubber floor mats. Okay, technically this is, I guess, our second modification, and I feel like modifications are usually like really cool, but I forget that sometimes they're more just like necessary changes. But we did have the OCDplug.com. They sent us this. They sent us a screen protector here because screen protectors are so essential. I mean, when you get a new phone, what's the first thing you do? You get a screen protector because we're not like barbarians. We need to protect what we love. So here it is. This is how it comes. This is the screen protector for the Mach-E. It is rolled up right here. This is like a pretty thick band actually. Okay, and in this kit you also get, we also get directions right here, and you can watch a video as far as how to install it as well. And inside this kit you get a little spray bottle here. Now they say that they're not, because of like shipping restrictions, they can't send it with the liquid, so you do have to put like a drop of Dawn for dishes and some water in here, and then you also get an alcohol swab and then like a microfiber towel. So I'm gonna go put some soap and water in this little tube, and then we'll get started to apply it to the screen. We've got our screen protector, and I just got some soap and water in here. Now let's go ahead, let's get the car prepped. I feel like we're getting it prepped for surgery. But the first thing we want to do, of course, we want to turn the fan off because we don't want any dirt and stuff blowing on while we're trying to do this. And then we're going to put the screen into calm mode. So to put the screen in calm mode, we'll simply click on the Mach-E. We'll go over to settings. We're going to scroll down here to display. and then click on calm. So easy peasy. While it's in calm mode, take a look here. Look at all of these fingerprints. That is nasty. Okay, so we're gonna say goodbye to this. Now let's go ahead, let's use our alcohol wipe. We'll get it nice and clean here. And then we'll continue. And I have to say, like, I feel like, again, people put screen protectors on everything. Like, it's one of the first things we should do. I'm actually kind of surprised that we've owned this for a month and we haven't done it yet. Actually, one of our first vehicles that we ever bought ourselves, it was a Honda Accord. Not the Honda Accord Hybrid because that car sucked. The one before that, the Honda that we actually liked. Ooh, Amazon package. That vehicle, we tried to take really good care of it. And we didn't put a screen protector on it. And so one day we were actually vacuuming our vehicle and we were just trying to vacuum the dust right off the screen. We put the vacuum across the screen and it left like a 4-inch scratch. It was awful. And we had to live with that for the rest of the car's life. It was awful. Okay, but we learned our lesson. So here we go, getting it nice and clean. And then we'll just use the microfiber. To continue with our procedure here, because I feel like I'm a doctor, first we have to do our fingers, get them nice and slippery. And at this point, I feel like I'm in, what's that movie with Nicolas Cage, National Treasure, where he's like trying to prepare like a prep room or something like that for the Declaration of Independence. Okay, because we want to keep it clean. It's going to be in our clean room. Okay, next we're going to spray the screen itself. And we don't want it to be like drippy. We're just gonna get it a little bit moist. I know a lot of people love that word. Okay, there we go. And then we are gonna spray the protector on the front. And look, you can even see, can you see that circle cut out? It looks like a donut. That is gonna go around our little knob here. Get a good like close up of that. All right, now let's get ready. We are gonna peel this off. Here we go. And I like that there's like a generous layer here of overlap. And I'm gonna link this in the description below. This is again from the OCDplug.com. So this already feels like a really quality screen. Like, can you see how thick that is? Okay, I'm really happy with this already. And it's not even on our screen. Okay, let's go ahead. We'll peel this off. And it's a good thing I sprayed my fingers because I'm touching it with my thumb already, the sticky side. Okay, and I'm just gonna give this a spray as we peel. Here we go. And look, you can even see there's a little protector piece right here. We'll do that last because that's gonna go inside our knob. Let's go ahead and layer it on. A lot of water. With like a vinyl wrap before, it's really easy, especially in this vehicle because you have this ring as your guide. So you saw I just lined it up around the circle and that was kind of like my anchoring place. so now that it's on, you do want to be sure that you keep the outside nice and wet here. Again, not like dripping, but you want to keep it moist. And then we have our squeegee here. We're just simply gonna like slide it out to get the air bubbles away from there. Here we go. And the directions do say that if there is like a little bit of air bubble or something, like maybe even a little bit of like residue from like the soap and water, eventually that'll work itself out. But we're gonna try to get all of the big parts out here. And I think this probably is like the most fun part because it just is really cool to watch these like air bubbles like glide out. Okay, so far here are my recommendations. So once you get it anchored around the knob, I would kind of smooth that area around first because that's a little bit more difficult. But then go ahead and do your top part up here because this is going to be a lot smoother to do in calm mode, because once you start doing around these areas, even though you're not physically touching the buttons with your finger, using your squeegee, things are gonna go crazy. I started turning the heat on, I turned the air on, I turned like the defrosters on. It's gonna go crazy in here. So it does not stay in calm mode when you're doing this. It goes a little bit crazy. But now that I have it back in calm mode, I'm really liking how this looks. Now this is the matte finish, and you can tell like it looks beautiful. And this is really different for us because in our Tesla Model 3, we did the glossy screen protector. So this one I'm already noticing like there isn't a huge glare, and we're not even in direct sunlight yet. So I'm kind of excited to take this for a spin around the block and see how it looks. But there is really excellent coverage. You can see it goes like almost all the way to the top here and around the whole screen completely. I don't know, I really like the matte finish. I think this looks really good. I feel like it fits the car here. I don't know if your car has a personality, but I think mine does, and this just really seems to fit really well. Okay, so I really like this. I'm gonna get a few more of these bubbles out, and again, I'm not gonna go crazy because I know some of them will just like work themselves out as it sits on there and it kind of like cures sort of. Also, I do want to note too that in the instructions it did say that if right after you put the screen protector on and you maybe try to adjust something and it might not be super responsive, it might just be like a little bit of extra moisture that's under there, and once that comes off, your screen will start acting like normal again. But let me finish this up and then we'll see how it looks at the end. And I completely forgot, because this has a knob, I still forgot to do that little circle part. I'm gonna call this like the donut hole. So let's go ahead and let's do that part real quick. And if this part, because it's so tiny, if it doesn't work out, I'm not super worried because this is already like a big enough barrier. I feel like it's gonna protect that little tiny part from getting scratched. But let's go ahead and let's give it a shot. I'm gonna give just one little spray from a few inches away here. Okay, there we go. I'll do my fingers one more time. Oh look, it's already going crazy because it's like, oh no, look, I wonder if you can almost do it like this. Okay, water does like activate these buttons, so do be careful. Okay, let's spray our little donut hole. Lift it up. Look at how tiny that is. It's so cute. It's like a little button. Okay, hopefully this should be really easy to apply. And I feel like I'll have to use my fingers to do it because a squeegee won't fit in there. And there we go. Okay, that was so easy. Now you can see there are just like a few tiny little bubbles here, but overall I think it was like a really easy application. Now to get these out, I'm just gonna kind of leave the car in the sun for a little bit. It'll make its way out eventually. Let the rest of the little bits of moisture dry, and then we'll come back and we'll see it in just a little bit. Well, that is it. That is how easy it was to put on the matte screen protector. Again, I'm loving it already, but you can see that there's still a few little bubbles here. Now I'm just gonna leave the car parked right here. You can see the sun is out. I think eventually these bubbles, again, they'll just kind of work themselves out. But I'm really glad we got this done. It kind of puts like my mind at ease because, like, again, you protect your phone. Why wouldn't you want to protect your car screen? So, okay, that is it. That is all I've got for this video. I know it was a quick and short one, but drop me a comment below. Let me know if you are like one of those people who live on the edge and you don't have a screen protector on your car. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, that's all I've got. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.